We lined them up like dodgeball teams and got to pick.
I mentioned before, I never planned on doing a reality dating show. That was like never in the plans at all.
Everybody know everybody and everybody been with everybody. So if you don't find that person early on, it's gonna be hard to find that person.
I got a DM that says, hey, do you want to be on this show? And I sent it to my mom and sisters. I'm like, hey, look, it's your favorite show. And they freaked out and said, you absolutely have to do it.
You know, it's hard with these good looks.
You know, the young generation of farming is really important right now. I don't think most of the U.S. realizes that.
What was like the craziest response, and I'm hoping it's from like an ex-girlfriend. There's gotta be some juicy text or calls or DMs like, are you kidding me? Hey y'all, it's Pat from Like a Farmer. We got a special episode today. I have the boys from Farmer Wants a Wife Season 3 that you can catch every single Thursday on Fox. This is a special edition of Like a Farmer, and I cannot wait to talk to them. I've got Matt, I've got Jay, I've got John, and I've got Colton. And we're gonna talk about love, might talk about hate, might talk a little bit about in between. We're gonna talk about farming, of course, but I am super excited. Boys, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thanks for having us.
I wanna hear everybody's hot take. When you think about these reality dating TV shows, which I'm a huge fan of. I mean, any way that you can find love these days, especially in rural America. I'll give you a little hot take real quick. I had one of the episodes of Like a Farmer, we had the founder of FarmersOnly.com come on the show, which you wouldn't even think about that. Well, you think about back in the day before all of these dating websites and apps came out, I mean, Farmers Only was it. And he came to me and said, Pat, you don't understand being in rural America and like how hard it is to find love. I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. And when you think about it, like he's spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, what y'all do, where y'all come from, how y'all are raised, I mean, it's a 24/7 job. I mean, there's no like, oh, I'm gonna go work Monday, but I might not work Tuesday. No, it's Monday through Sunday, 24/7, because it's the uncontrollables. Whether it's policies, whether it's labor, whether it's natural disasters, I mean, y'all get it. Doing a dating show though, and y'all, whoever jump in, like, was this one of the, like, this is what I want to do personally, or is it like one of those sick games that your buddies put on, like they just sign you up on accident?
Both.
I mean, let's start with you. Go for it.
You know, like I mentioned before, I never planned on doing a reality dating show. That was like never in the plans at all, you know. And I even, you know, had seen it before, and I was like, I would never do that, you know. But opportunity arose, and you know, it's kind of like, hey, why not, you know? Like, I am a farmer, I am single, I do want to be with somebody. It was just a lot cooler than I expected, because they really did like ask you what exactly you're looking for. Probably kind of like FarmersOnly.com, you can like check boxes on stuff.
Yeah.
And so like all the girls we started with were already like, you know, they're all good looking, but they already have all the qualities you want. So it's really pretty cool. But on top of that, the biggest thing for me is like, it's a lot different from other shows because it's on our farm and it's in my house, which is wild because you have all these girls moving into your house. You can imagine that's pretty interesting. But, you know, they're showing like what I do for work and what my family does, what we grow and all that kind of stuff, which I was really excited about because I love where I live and I love what we do. So to like showcase all that, you know, is pretty neat for us.
It's so cool, and y'all know me, I'm a big fan of these worlds colliding to shine light on rural America, to shine light on agriculture, and this show right here does it. I mean, that's the cool thing about it. Hopefully you find love. We'll find out if we're watching the show, but like, it's really cool to see these people come on farms and actually, damn, this is, our food actually really doesn't come from a grocery store, right? I mean, and that's kind of your high level where it stops for the consumer, like, oh yeah, they just grow it out back behind Publix or behind Walmart or whatever. But it's cool to see people that don't come from that life get to come to y'all's farms. I mean, how's it been for you so far, Jay?
Yeah, kind of like Matt said, never really expected to be on a reality show finding love, you know, and even like you touched on, being from a small town, everybody know everybody and everybody been with everybody. So if you don't find that person early on, it's gonna be hard to find that person. But my experience with it was kind of different. One of my sister's friends said, hey, your brother be perfect for this show. And I never heard of the show before, you know, at this time. And literally like a day or two later, got reached out to him, you know, and then at the time, you know, I was just thinking about it, prayed about it. I was like, you know, it'd probably be a good opportunity for me to, you know, find a person out there for me. So, I mean, I really enjoy the fact that they got to shed light on, you know, my farm and my family's farm, especially, you know, being in Alabama. So it was a good opportunity.
Now you say Alabama, I mean, are you because this gets talked about a lot in Alabama. I mean, you Auburn Tiger or you Alabama?
War damn Eagle.
Okay. Basketball, I mean, right now.
Well,
holy-
basketball, we got Mark Sears playing. So that's my guy. He's from my hometown, the Shoals area. So I got to rock out with him this year. So
I'm a Florida Gator, so at least we keep it in the SEC family. But, man, you want to talk about I love sitting down, and we talked about it earlier. You know, Riley's been a fan and a common guest of the show. And these Alabama people, because there's no professional football team in that state. I mean, it's Alabama or it's Auburn, so it's always good to talk about that. John, you, man, I mean, tell me what's been going on with you, because not only good-looking dude, but you got the brains too, man. I mean, were you going for your law degree, or do you already have your law degree?
I'm currently going for my law degree.
Okay, so tell me how this just happened and how it's been going so far.
I mean, it landed on my lap. I finished my first year of law school, and then I transferred into a school in St. Louis, so I'm living with my mom and dad there. And right as the semester was about to start, I got a DM that says, hey, do you want to be on this show? And I sent it to my mom and sisters. I'm like, hey, look, it's your favorite show. And they freaked out and said, you absolutely have to do it. So next thing you know, I'm talking to producers. We got Fox executives flying out to look at our properties and stuff like that. So very surreal experience. But, you know, now that the second semester has started, I'm really trying to get back into the books and learn the law.
Dude, I love that, man. And it's really cool and I keep on going back to the show because I want to give the flowers to Fox like they deserve. I mean, you talk about, we got season 3 going. I mean, the ratings have been great for this TV show, and I think it should be an honor, and y'all sit here proudly to be on this show, because doing 2 things, right? Hopefully we're finding love, but I keep on going back, and I will continue to go back to it, shining light on an industry that gets no light shed on it. So I appreciate that. Colton, I mean, let's talk about you, man. 2-time Dad of the Year, right? You got a 2-year-old son. Is that correct? 3-year-old.
Going for 3-peat in April.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're about to be a 3-time Dad of the Year, and now you're
Yeah.
trying to find love. I mean, how's it been going for you?
It's you know, it's hard with these good looks to find them. You know, at least that's what I tell myself to make up for it. No, I just got tired of setting my dating ranges to like 150 miles on the apps and, you know, all that BS.
Yeah.
And I figured the show would at least fly the women to me. Shoot, why not?
It's like shooting fish out of a barrel.
Yeah, I mean, at that point.
It's funny you say that, and it is what it is. Like, when it comes to the dating scenes in y'all's area, I mean, how has that been before this show came about?
I've dated every woman in Mina. There's like 3. But, no, I'm just kidding. There's very little dating scene in Mina. It's like everybody leaves right after high school and goes to college, or you go to work. So it's like old people, mainly.
What do you think?
Everybody get married so young, you know, like where I'm from, small town, everybody get married at like 19, 20, you know. And I went out to play college football for 6 years. And when I came back, you know, wasn't many options left for me. You know? So definitely tough.
And so we're going in now from week 1 just happened. Like, give me the rundown of are y'all all together and just the girls walk in? I mean, what's going through y'all's mind when this happens?
I had to walk in first by myself. These guys were waiting outside. I was pretty nervous, but I mean, we didn't really know. We got to choose beforehand, like out of a big group, you know, but we didn't really know like who you're gonna get. So I walk into this like massive room with all their girls in there too, and I'm just like, there's cameras and Kimberly's in there and like all these gals and all this stuff, and it's pretty nerve-wracking, you know, to be on camera just like, you know, right off the bat like that. But also pretty exciting too. I mean, a lot of guys would be pretty lucky to be in our position. We get to choose like out of all these women, so.
Are you kidding me?
It's not the worst thing, you know?
I mean, from what I've seen, there's just all these beautiful women, and it's like, hey, which one?
It's not bad.
We
Which
lined
one
them
you
up
want?
like dodgeball teams and got to pick one at a time.
Let me tell you,
about that.
I mean, all of y'all, you know, y'all come from good stock, and you seem like most of y'all have some athletic bones in your body, right? And it's like, this is a sportsmanship thing here too. Like, how was it when y'all all met each other? Was it like a bunch of big egos in the room, or was it like, all right, boys, let's go and let's unite and get this thing done?
Yeah, it was an immediate kind of united front.
It'd be hard to walk into that with a big ego. I mean,
Yeah,
nobody's used to that.
It's just like a football locker room, you know. You get so many people from different places, but y'all all there for the same reason. So it's like y'all click instantly, you know. And that's how we were. So
Yeah. Plus, really, like, you know, there's like crew people in production, and then like the girls are doing their thing, and then so like a lot of times you're kind of like on your own as the guy. And so like when we'd meet up at these like mixer events, it's like, oh, thank God, like we get to hang out and like just, you know, BS and stuff in the back room. So it's nice
That's
to have
awesome.
that. Yeah.
Now, when you think about where each of y'all came from, and we're talking about all different parts of the country, and especially with what you're doing day to day, I mean, there's a lot of things that are damn sure different in California than they are Alabama. I mean, how do those conversations go when you think about day-to-day farming? Like, have y'all been able to form a good relationship to maybe help out family operations back home and continue to be successful at what y'all are doing?
I think it's more just like interesting because like you're saying, like our stuff completely different from where they're all at, and we all, you know, do different things and all that stuff. So I think, you know, as you know, farming's gotten pretty tough for a lot of reasons, and it's, you know, a lot of people farming are older, you know, and unfortunately, you know, dying off. I don't know how else to say that, but you know, the young generation of farming is really important right now. I don't think most of the U.S. realizes that, and so, you know, I think like this is it. You know, like we're kind of representing that in a way. So it's, you know, in my opinion, kind of an honor and important for us to like share our experiences and, you know, what we can learn with each other and that kind of stuff. But just to really teach people, I guess, you know, like what's going on with the farming community.
I think it's really cool to sit back, and I'm glad that you mentioned that the youth in agriculture is something that we all have to work on. I mean, you think about the average age of a farmer is 60, 65,
Yeah.
and there's not a ton of money in it, as we all know. There's not a ton of appeal to it, and I think that's another thing that this show does for the industry. So I'm a huge fan. I mean, the fact that you've got this many seasons is really cool to see. I play a game on this show, okay? One of the sponsors of this show is Outlaw Beer. So I call this game Beer Thoughts.
We got any here?
No, we don't, and that's fine. And there's some other gifts that we have coming for y'all as well. But when you crack open a beer and you have some beer thoughts, like when you think about what y'all would be doing if you weren't doing this, and I want all of y'all to answer, like what would you be doing? And it could be anything. But I want you, the reason why I ask that, because farming and what y'all do is a necessity. Like, you have to do it. I mean, it's 1.8% of us feeding the rest of the country. So it's very important. Sometimes you don't even have a damn choice. Like, nah, you're just going to farm. I mean, that's what Grandpa's saying. That's what Pops is saying. But what would you be doing if you weren't doing that?
Well, I don't know if you know this, but I didn't grow up farming or anything.
Yeah.
So I got to do it, you know, more recently. And
First generation, right?
it was really through my sister-in-law and brother.
Okay.
And so I kind of got involved through them, and I run a produce company kind of separately from them now. But it's hard to imagine because I worked in different industries before, but for me, it's not even just like the farming itself. It's really like the community is awesome. I mean, it's like all of our neighbors farm and ranch, and everyone you meet in farming is generally pretty cool. Everyone takes care of each other, which is super important because it's getting tough. But I don't know, maybe a reality TV star?
What would you be doing?
I'm kidding.
I like that.
Reality TV?
No, I'm kidding.
I can see it. I mean, who knows? This might jumpstart.
Maybe a survival show.
Can we have a fact? Can we have a fact check of anybody that's been season 1 or 2 in Farmer Wants a Wife if they've done any other like TV stuff? Like, could this be a jump start of a reality TV career that Matt would like to do?
That was one and done for me.
We'll look that up.
One and done for me. I'm checking.
Yeah.
What about you, Jay?
I think for me, if I wasn't, farming, I would definitely be around the game of football a little bit more. I still am, but I would say like an NFL agent. I got some friends, some guys that are NFL agents, and they look like they have a good time traveling, going to the games. They make some pretty good money too. So I just know with, having to run the farm every day, you can't be able to, travel like that and be away from the animals. So NFL agent.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, if I wasn't doing all this, I'd be full-time in the books.
Yeah.
This is kind of nice because it gives me a little bit of a distraction and stuff, something to keep it interesting. But
Professional
if I weren't
bird
doing
watcher.
that, yeah, well, I'd be bird watching too.
Yeah.
I love that.
Where did that come from? Is that a little inside joke?
No,
there?
that's actually
No,
what
he actually is into bird watching, but like the first few times I heard it, I thought it was a joke. And then,
Yeah.
Would you just stand outside and just watch
Yeah, I like
birds?
looking at birds, yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
like them. I, got a little book and stuff and take pictures and all that stuff.
This
I was like,
makes
oh,
sense
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You need the
I was like, oh,
lawyer.
serious.
Okay, it's all coming together. What about you?
Oh, I try to be like an Army helicopter pilot or something super badass, a lot of adrenaline. That's what I would want to do. That way I could wear my aviators, not seem like a total weirdo.
Yeah.
That would be my, yeah.
You know, I'm surprised you didn't say like a fashion designer or something. Best dressed, you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
telling
Right.
you, man, he rolled in here looking clean.
I'm
I
a
mean,
guy.
you know, the show is starting now. It's coming out. But was it one of those things where nobody back home knows that you're in it? And they're just going to, when the episode comes out, like, oh, damn, Jay from across the street's in it, or Matt from down the road's in it. Is that basically how it's going to be?
Well, I think with the promos that
quick.
came out, that really kind of was the big announcement.
But did
when
they
that
know
happened,
before, or was it like,
a lot
how
of
many
people didn't.
DMs and texts and phone calls did y'all get when this dropped?
Tons.
I mean,
Yeah. People were just cracking up, like, no, there's no way, sending the articles and stuff. It's like, is this really you?
what
yeah.
was like the craziest like response? And I'm hoping it's from like an ex-girlfriend from one of y'all's or something like, damn it, I messed up.
man.
Like, there's got to be some juicy text or calls or DMs like, are you kidding me?
Nothing I'd like to share.
Still waiting on them.
mostly
Hoping
just-
I get a good one.
Yeah, mostly just people excited to watch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I've been saying before, I would give anything to have one of my best buddies like on the show, so I got to watch them. You know, that'd be awesome. But
I think the biggest question, like I feel like everybody can attest to this, that you get is like, did you find love? That's the number one question
Yeah.
everybody asks. And I'm like,
do you have a wife? Are you
yeah.
married?
I'm like,
are you
we
engaged?
can't give you that right now, you know. But it's definitely been my phone been blowing up. So
Yeah, I mean, same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah,
just-
families going crazy when they find out and everything. Old employers and stuff texting me and stuff. It's like, are you really doing a show? Yeah. Watch.
Yeah.
So for people like that, hopefully will be in season 4 and 5 and 6 as this thing continues to grow, like I know it will. I mean, what are some advice that you would give to the next farmers coming on the TV show?
Cut out the carbs. You know, maybe a little early. In case you have to
lean
get in the
up.
hot tub.
Lean up.
No, in reality, probably just try and be as comfortable as possible and don't try and be somebody you're not right off the bat.
Yeah, the biggest thing I realized, I was so nervous up front on the camera, like you feel like it's live,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Then you start to realize like, oh, it's not live. Like you could mess up and, you know, it's gonna be okay, you know? Like if you slip on something you shouldn't have said or whatever it is. So once I started realizing that, I got way more comfortable. I'm like, all right, like, you know, this isn't live to people's homes right now. Like just relax a little bit, you know?
I would just say, you know, have fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's an experience that, you know, 30 years from now, I'll be able to tell my kids and, you know, hopefully grandkids whenever I'm a grandpa and things like that. And just soak it all in, because once it's over, it's over. You go from being out there on the farm by yourself to all these women and all these crew there and just busy for, you know, 5-6 weeks. And then it's back to quiet. So it get a little lonely out there first and you got to readjust, but just soak it all in. So
What were some crazy stories that happened when how many, remind me again, how many girls are coming to the farms?
5.
5? Like give me 1 or 2 just crazy stories that happened. Like, I mean, because for the most part, I'm assuming, and you'll help me answer this, is a lot of them are coming from the city or not really used to this type of lifestyle. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be something like, well, I thought if a cow had horns that it was just automatically a male, and it could be something like that.
Well, for me, being in California, and I used to live in Texas for a little bit, and so I'm like constantly having to explain to everyone where I live, because everyone thinks California is like LA, San Diego, Bay Area, all that stuff, but most of California is like pretty rural. Where we're at is all, you know, vineyards and farming and all that, so everyone thought we were like going to LA, so all the girls show up, and it's like not like that at all, you know? And so I think it was like a pretty big shock, because I don't think any of them had even heard of my town before. So they didn't know where they were going at all. Like they just show up in the car and like, you know, pretty shocking at first. And you get all these gals getting out of the car, their suitcases and stuff, and they're like looking around.
Where am I?
Yeah.
yeah, so all my girls are from either the West Coast or Midwest. I mean, so none of them ever dreamed of going to Alabama or ever been to Alabama. So when they got there and we were riding past, you know, some of the cotton fields, this was off camera. They were like, I've never like picked the cotton like a thing. So we got out and did it. I was like, it's just so crazy, because that stuff we did, you know, field trips and stuff,
Yeah.
pumpkin patch, stuff like that. So definitely different experience for them.
100%. What about you, John?
Yeah, it was a crazy experience. I think, well, what we did when we went down to the farm is the girls kind of stayed in this trailer because I didn't want them with my grandparents and everything. But there was no electricity and water in there for the first couple days, and I know they had quite a hard time with that, so that'll be interesting to see on camera.
I love that.
I just had the girls, they came out and I know they had to shovel some horse crap and stuff like that. So I know that was probably a big shock to their pretty fingernails and stuff, you know. So they didn't have any phone service or anything like that. Kind of live out in the middle of nowhere. It's, you know, a little bit of an adjustment for them.
I get it, and it goes back to what I've mentioned before. I truly think that's probably one of the coolest things about the show is just like introducing, you know, people that aren't used to it. Like, oh, these are the people that feed you and clothe you, and like this is what keeps the world going around. There's a bigger picture movement coming from this reality show than I think we could even see right now. So I'm proud of it. Hey y'all, it's Pat with Like a Farmer. Are you looking to add some local flavors to your recipes? Well, visit freshfromflorida.com today, where you can browse hundreds of delicious recipes that bring Florida freshness to your table all year round. Become a Fresh from Florida member for free and create your own menus. Save and send your favorite dishes and get exclusive access to monthly newsletters packed with fresh local recipes. I can promise you, you will be a favorite in your neighborhood. From the Florida fields to your fork, year-round freshness and flavor are just a logo away. Fresh from Florida, there's a sunshine in every bite. Hey y'all, today's episode is brought to you by Ag America, your go-to financial partner for all things agriculture. As the largest independent financial firm dedicated to rural America, Ag America is changing the game when it comes to ag lending and leveling up finance options for farmers, ranchers, and landowners across the nation. And I'll let you know the secret. The thing that sets this company apart from the rest is the people. They understand firsthand the unique needs of American farmers and ranchers because many of them grew up on farms themselves. They take a farmer-focused approach to finance, prioritizing relationships over transactions to help you build a stronger financial foundation for you and your family. So whether you're looking to buy land or secure working capital, Ag America has your back. Visit agamerica.com today to learn more and see how they can help you achieve long-term financial success. Because when farmers thrive, we all do. All right, so we play another game on the show. This is like a game show. This is one of my favorite parts. Presenting boot sponsor of Like a Farmer is the one and only Tecovas. Love the brand. They're big fans of y'all. They were very excited when I made the call last night that I wanted to give each and every one of y'all a brand new pair of Tecovas. But to get that, you know, each of y'all have the box, and then you can tell me what this is as you're opening your new pair of boots. But it's what you don't know, presented by Tecovas. And while you're opening your brand new pair of Tecovas boots, is you have to tell everybody one thing that they do not know about you. Start with you, Matt.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Pressure's
And
on.
you can go and you can.
Well, first of all, thank you for
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
setting that up. That's awesome. Something people don't know about me. Let's think about this. Well, this is pretty exciting. First of all, I'm having a hard time focusing on both right now. Some people don't know about me.
That thing's so
Nice. Look at that. You guys are awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Some people don't know about me. I think the biggest thing people probably assume I'm on this farming show as a farmer. And I really, like I kind of mentioned, didn't grow up that way. We grew up in the city. I had a lot of friends out farming and all that kind of stuff. And, my brother and sister-in-law were into it. And so really, I don't want to make any false claims. Like, I'm new into farming, which is crazy. I'm on a, like 3-4 years ago, if you would have been like, hey, you're going to be on a reality show as a farmer, I would have been like, what are you talking about, I was kind of involved in it, but not like in any way like that. So really just, being new into this world is probably something a lot of people don't necessarily realize that we'll be watching.
And that's really good, and I think it's important to know if you don't have more people wanting to do that, we're going to have a big issue. I mean, tell me and everybody, like, what was appealing to get into this type of industry?
I didn't really plan on it. We had some kind of family tragedies, unfortunately, to where I needed to drop what I was doing and get involved, which probably a lot of people could relate to. But once you get involved, like I mentioned, the farming is the community. It's like the people, our neighbors, all that kind of stuff. And then you start realizing how important it is, like you've mentioned, And then you start seeing these people that you care about that are like, oh, so-and-so down the road might be losing their ranch because they, can't pay inheritance tax or they're running out of water or something like that. And it's horrible. It's like these people that have, had this property in their family for generations and now they're losing it because of like this, excuse my language, but like shitty California policy or something that doesn't even matter and they're going to lose their family property. It's like pretty heartbreaking. And so, like I mentioned, like I've come into farming with a new perspective, really, because I didn't do it before, and I'm seeing all this stuff. I'm like, whoa, this is A, like bad for all of us, and B, just really unfortunate. A lot of stuff was going on. So, hopefully, we can change that, and like us younger guys can, make a difference, and hopefully, someone with a law degree can do something about some of those things. If he passes the bar, but
Yeah, we'll see.
So yeah, just to answer your question,
Dude,
sorry, I
that's
went
a
on a little
great
long,
take, man.
But yeah, just new farmer, I guess you could say.
That's good stuff. Yeah, I love that. Jay.
And thank you.
That was
man.
deep. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, that was awesome,
Sorry,
man.
Jay, I came out.
I think it's very important to note that the amount of people, especially in the farming operations, family farming operations, that have to step up because of a tragedy or just life, et cetera. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. What we don't know.
First, I just want to say, man, this is the best interview I've ever been a part of right here. This definitely take the cake.
Ooh, thanks, son.
That
Nice.
is nice right there. But no, something you don't know about me. I wasn't always a big, football player. I was a nerd. I like Legos, and I was part of the math team, and I wore glasses and stuff. So, and I still get back to that sometimes. I like that stuff, like the brain teasers and stuff. So, wasn't always a farmer football player. Jay was the nerd.
Hey, listen, everybody has that nerd stage, man, and that's okay. And it's the first step is admitting it, Jay. So we appreciate that as a group here. All right, John, you're up. What do we not know?
Well, first off, obviously, thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely spectacular. Best interview I've ever been a part of. Matt already kind of, exposed the one thing that nobody really knows, that I love bird watching. But I guess one of the other things is, hold on, I gotta take
You got to show
It's
him.
hard to think
Yeah,
about
let's
that.
see.
Are you kidding me?
Is it clean?
Man,
I like those.
kind of want to put them on now.
Dude, those are slick.
God, these are nice.
I wish we had him for the show.
Tecova, thank you. So I guess the next thing is I actually spent a few years working on Capitol Hill. Yeah, I was working in DC for a little bit, so that's
That doesn't
probably an
surprise
interesting
me,
one
but
that
yeah,
not
yeah.
many people know.
But what were you doing? Like, did you have like a mission? Like, I'm going to the Capitol Hill and I'm going to get this done. Like, were you lobbying for anything specific?
No, so I was working as an intern for the Missouri senator, and then I moved to a scheduler position for a different senator of Kentucky, and actually was his driver. But while I was there, I realized there wasn't really much to do, so I figured law school was probably the best bet. And upon getting into law school and seeing my grandfather and his farm and everything, I wanted to, like Matt said, just kind of take a different route through law school so I can stand up for family farms who are, falling subject to big government and giant corporation bullies and stuff like that. So kind of
Love
want to
that. Can we just all go and admit that John's going to be a politician?
Yeah.
All right, as long as we're good there. All right, you're up, Colton.
No shit.
What do we not know?
Something you don't know. Every summer for like the last couple years, I've done a kind of like a hybrid intermediate fasting with the carnivore diet because I love cattle and ranches and stuff like that. And like that's my like next thing that I'm gonna move into is like selling beef direct. Like that's what I want to do. And I think it has like so many health benefits and stuff like that. I mean, it's just it's something that my dad and has always like we've always ate meat growing up and we've always been in good shape and stuff like that. And it's like you see people eat McDonald's every day and it costs twice as much to do that if you buy McDonald's versus if you buy a steer from a local rancher. Like it's literally cheaper. Like the math is crazy. Like and the rancher could make 10 times more money. That's what's even crazier. So I want to do something like that, kind of help out, kind of build a new revenue stream inside of our ranch with social media to take that off. So that's something that I do is the carnivore diet.
I like that.
Let's see.
You gotta see the boots.
Let's see them. Let's see the
What
boots.
color do you think they are?
Brown.
Brown.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
Golly.
Dude, these things are slick.
Man. Boy, Tecovas makes great booze.
Dude.
Yeah, they do.
Unbelievable.
So
Number
Got 'em
one
all
in
now.
the game, man.
Yeah.
Number one in the game.
Number one.
As always, we appreciate Tecovas. Man, that was great. I mean, step up when you got to step up. Don't be afraid to be who you really are, even if sometimes it's, the nerd kid.
That,
Fight for what you believe in and stay healthy and believe in your brand. I say, the direct to consumer, in my opinion, is the future. I really do. I think cutting out some of the middlemen to make a little bit more money. What do you have to do to be the best at direct to consumer? Marketers. When you have opportunities like Fox and working with teams like EB's team, like that help you with your brand, it is so important because it's just going to continue to make you successful, and that's what you've got to do, especially in this industry. This has been awesome, boys. I really appreciate y'all coming on this show. I'm excited to watch y'all show every single Thursday, and as always, we appreciate y'all tuning in to Like a Farmer. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, share, do whatever you got to do to be like a farmer.